Hello on for new video finally. So I know it's been a while since I made a video, maybe almost a month now I think, give or take. It's mainly because POE's been so dead and how bad the teaser was, there was zero reason to make a video on it. So we finally got the reveal today. I saw the reveal 5 hours after it came out because of work. And that's why this video is coming out a lot later than it was supposed to be. But pretty much Expedition League is I'm not 100% good. I'm not 100% happy with it. It's pretty much going to feel like Abyss League. I have a feeling. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but for now I'll do the trailer, then we'll go from there.
Many centuries ago, our people traveled to this accursed continent. We return to reclaim our lost relics. But Rayclast grips its secrets tightly. We must wrench them from its grasp. You know violence. We know trade. Retrieve our relics and we'll strike a deal. We will follow the path of our forebears to discover their unknown fate. They wait, shrouded in darkness, for one who may finally challenge them. Wealth and power will be yours, should you survive our expedition.
So there's a couple things. I mean, I think it's gonna be fun. It starts in less than a week now, I give or take. No, a week actually. So, and I watched everything, the Ziggy D, the live stream, all that. So a lot of stuff tweeting over. I mean, one thing about the league that I'm not like when he does this type of thing when they're showing, when you place each of these, depending on how many you get, to me, it sort of feels like you're doing Abyss style type league, where you're just instead of the portals being random where the Abyss monsters come through, you're pretty much putting where the Abyss portals will be. Like blowing up like the treasure icons, you can see. They said if you see there's a boss icon too. Like it feels like you're sort of making the Abyss route is what I feel like it's gonna be. So it's gonna be a lot slower gameplay than what people are used to, which I'm not a big fan of. So it'll be interesting to see. It's like a heist meets Abyss League pretty much. With heist, you're going to the mapping session, the new vendors, like being able to haggle and all that on bases. The one that like these type of things. New skills, I'm not going to go over too much till we see the patch notes. I am interested to see if this is the endgame boss. See if I can find it real fast.
Will you survive our
Not too far, actually.
expedition?
This one. Well, the one that was right there. I'm curious to ask me the endgame boss or not. Yeah, so like if you can look in here, like you see like all the treasure chests that you can hit on the one explosion. One's over here. Like it feels like it's Abyss. Pretty much. That's the reason why I'm saying it's a lot of Abyss. A lot of people up here are thinking the same.
Go for the chests and try to avoid combat. The
make it
ancient
fine.
Kalgoran explorers built structures on Rayclast, and you may encounter remnants.
But yeah, like there's stuff in here too. Like this why it's pretty important you do these to make sure what you see based on what we saw. Like there's some that you can get through here that has even say like fizz mitigation, elemental mitigation, all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely important to check these. But like you know, monsters impale enemy or impale pretty much. The monsters can impale, but you get more rewards. So it's a little bit like past leagues. Make them harder, get more loot. And those get 4 explosives on the bottom. So I'm not sure if each map is designed X amount, but it looks like you get 4 chain paths you can make on this one. So it's interesting to see how it's going to look. Like, we do know about the new currency, which this will be the interesting part of how easy these are to get and how much they're expensive they're going to be. Since we know there's a lot of different ones, and each vendor uses their own different kind. Like, you see on here, like, Rogue, Gwen, like it says each of them have their own, and there's also different versions of each of these also. But I have a feeling, though, that not the Haggle guy. It's the big guy. This one, so this is the Gamma one. I think this is gonna be the worst one, to be honest, because you don't know which item you're gonna get. It's like, gambling in Diablo 2, I believe it was back in the day. But it's pretty much, pick your item. It can be a unique, rare, blue, maybe synthesize if we're lucky. Influence, all that kind of stuff. So it's probably not going to be used that often. So it might be the weakest one, to be honest. Like, especially you see like stuff like this. Like, it's also item level based, so make sure when you're doing these, item level is big. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And they did say that
They grant you
you can actually make this and the heist chest affiliate now. So if you have stuff like this, just go to your main chest and you can click them and it'll move them over right away, which is a huge improvement. But if you look here, like, you can see all the different kinds, like, 4 different here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 here, or 8 here, I can't count. But it looks like each person might have, like, these 4, 4 is what I'm thinking. So there might be 4 different versions of upgrades, and each one might give higher chances for newer things. And like the 4 on top that you need to re-rolls and all that. So it's quite interesting, like the maps. I'm curious though, because how small this tab is right here. 6, 7, 8. So it's 10, 1, 2, 3. So it only holds 60, which means I don't know if maps are going to be hard to find or not, because it only holds 60 maps total. So I'm not sure if it means it's going to be good or bad. And they said this starts dropping in Act 3, I think they said. So you can get these really early on too, to start running pretty quick. This is a thing I show you. So they did say that this is probably the most interesting part of this league is going to be running these. I will probably spend most of the league doing this, I have a feeling. But pretty much, the nice thing about these is you have choices. And they also said in these, this is where to look for if you want certain bosses to spawn in. You can actually search for bosses that are guaranteed to spawn like this way. So if there's a challenge for killing whatever boss, this is how you can be able to do it real easy. And you can roll them like maps too. So it should be really interesting. Yeah, so I'll probably have most of my, and you can choose, I think. So it's like, more explosives, which I assume will use more loot, increased radius. So it's really going to be real interesting. I think this is where I'm going to probably play with the most this league.
It's a theme that
And hope that this is rewarding.
controls what types of remnants can be found there. Talk to Danik in your hideout and give him a logbook you have found to go on an expedition to one of the locations.
Like, this is where you can choose, I believe, one location they were saying. And they said when you're doing these, it's only 6 portals on your map device, and you're doing the other one. So it means you I think it's like unlimited tries.
It describes. These are all exotic places that no exiles have ever.
So I'm not sure that means you're only going to get this in maps, though.
Just like how a blighted map was one giant blight encounter. For example, trees that contain monsters or items, passageways that reveal chests or bosses, and so on.
So that'd be interesting to see at the hidden value stuff.
Speaking of bosses, there are some formidable. You have a certain amount.
Yeah, like, this is gonna be an interesting thing too. I'm not gonna. We probably won't know much about this till League starts, but about the warding. So war is a new the new base for the defensive layer, but I'm not sure how strong it's gonna be. If it's worth, instead of using sorceress boots, is it better to use these boots instead? That's why it's hard to say, like, what roles can these have, which it still follows like the same usual roles as other bases, different bases. That's why these can be really hard to play with early on. They're probably more like maybe a week 3 of the league people will start using these more, but it'll be interesting to see.
Out of it, and that amount is fully.
The only bad thing too is it looks like, as all the uniques we've seen so far, only are wards. So if you're not playing war builds, a lot of the uniques looks like are not going to help you, which is going to be a bad thing. So war builds might be playable, but we'll see. Because without knowing how good ward is, it's something you're probably going to skip.
It causes all increases to energy shield to affect your ward and
Is this skill gems?
expansion, adding a gigantic
Yeah, so I'm not gonna go over all 19 skill gems because it's gonna be a long one. The only one I'm actually more interested in, I think, is... Well, I have the actual... we'll look at the thing after this, but I think it's this one. The one that makes Ancestral Totems very interesting. So we're going to skip all the support gems. So one thing, too, that I'm going to be really interested about this league is that they are nerfing, they said, almost every good skill in the game. So, like, you know, cast on crits. I'm pretty sure the Aura Stacker builds, Transcendent builds. You know, maybe some minion builds, maybe Specters. You know, like all those type of things are going to get nerfed. So it'll be interesting to see how big the nerf is going to be. Because they said everything's getting nerfed. They're increasing the campaign difficulty level again. Not too worried about that, though, at all. It's more of the amount of skills that are getting nerfed, which we won't know until patch notes. Which is why I'm not going to make any build guides until then. Because there's no point. Anyone who makes a build guide saying that these builds are going to be good in this league without seeing patch notes, with the fact that we know there's so many nerfs coming, is not worth looking at, to be honest. That's why I'm not going to do anything about patch builds. I'm not looking at builds right now. I have an idea of 2 builds I might league start with, and a build I plan on doing on day 3 to league as my actual build. But I need to see if it gets hit or not, which I'm hoping it doesn't. Because if it does, then I gotta rethink everything. But yeah, the amount of nerfs that are coming, which we don't really know which nerfs are coming. They just keep showing us the Ice Spirit, or Ice Ball maybe. That is destroying everything, so I'm guessing that's probably gonna get nerfed. Cyclone, they're gonna hit these really hard.
Scaling monster life and damage to counteract player power growth. Eventually, the numbers get too large and you need to crash when that's not actually fun to play. This leads to behaviors like Flask Piano, or the way that everyone just picks support gems that basically add.
Yeah, so support gem nerfs is coming in pretty hard. So it means a lot of skills might need new gems.
Are also the most fun to engage with.
Experienced players won't have a problem with this. Newer players will probably have a bigger problem.
Far-reaching, and the Goatman Shaman while he had Molten Shell up was a pretty terrible idea. Nowadays, however, the game is a lot more challenging. So far,
We're not gonna go over this stuff.
To get a powerful set of buffs that
so they are reworking Flask this league pretty heavily. So it's no more like a lot like Basalt Flask got hit real hard. You know, like yeah, Basalt Flask and now taunts instead of giving you the at least all the armor it gave you before. So Basalt Flask got hit extremely hard for the Fizz builds. Definitely gonna suck now playing those. Like the Duelist builds, the Marauders, those 2 mainly got hit really bad with this. And all of these they did change to, like, you know, create chilling ground on you, effects of freeze on you, which is like the so you can definitely make these also. I think it's in here.
Have been selectively buffed a bit if they were
there it is.
Drop pool.
So these are the new actual orbs you can put on flasks. I don't think people are going to use this one, to be honest, because this one makes it so that utility flasks get improved. You improve the ability of the flasks, but they don't gain anything until they run out, which is pretty shitty because people usually just have them up at all time. This pretty much makes it so you don't want to use them as often. This one, so cause to be used in certain conditions are met, it means it just goes off on its own. So if you have it says, like, you know, whenever you get frozen, flask gets active. You can have something like that. You know, whenever you get hit by shocking ground, that's, you know, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. It just goes on its own. You get hit by bleed, so stuff like that. You don't have to use these though. These are definitely optional.
The instilling orb will cause a flask to be used automatically. You get ignited. Use a dowsing flask to remove the ignite and to gain immunity for basalt and aqua.
Oh yeah, now they have gold flasks, and these are 2 new ones. So this will be salt. Yeah, so now gold for rarity, no one cares. And now this one reduces stun duration, and you cannot be stunned. So it's not a bad one, to be honest, with the stun duration. There'll be, I don't know if these will be played as much, no, but maybe.
Marine flasks and support gems because their opportunity.
We're not going to go over support gems really. It's just nerf.
Now, and feature implementation work for these super low level.
I'm not going to go over the battle royale. You know, they brought short version is battle royale will be here every weekend. Not including league starts right now. you know, 100 players, go have fun with it, mess around type of thing. I'll be streaming this on Saturday
A completely new Royale specific passive
or Friday night.
support gems and over 70 unique items.
Like, you know, they just... I'm not going to go over any of this. This is all for
These
Battle Royale. It's not
Royale
worth
items
it.
are appropriate for low level play and include quite
And the usual, you know,
digital
support
soundtrack
packs.
and of course exclusive cosmetic micro. Like always, it's
Okay, so that's
possible
pretty
to
much it with
upgrade
that.
between pack.
So let's go over the announcement stuff. So this is on the actual site already. It's pretty much what we get every league, you know. Like these are the monsters we're fighting down there. Okay, don't care. This is the new skill, low life. Does not matter. Oh yeah, so here's some of the items, ones we already saw though. That can be traded with each of them. Look at this, shows the window. This is the gambling lady. This one, you can actually keep spending more currency to, like, you know, add a random suffix, add a random prefix, whatever comes up. Whatever it says, you can pretty much do, or you just take it how it is. So it's definitely a very interesting one. I think this can be really cool to see, but I don't think its items are gonna be any good, to be honest. Then you can try to get it for a cheaper price to see if they'll let you or not. Should be interesting. I'll definitely play around with it. Increase explosive radius, number of explosives, more minions. Monsters more life. Monsters cannot be stunned. Oh, this is part of the thing. So yeah, like this one. Explosive. Okay, that's actually what we saw in there. You know, explosive radius, explosives, like non-stop. But then you have like 3 different choices. Order the Chance, the Black Druid. This is the one I think they already showed us. Yeah. These are just the maps you pick up. Put them in map device, choose which one. Hoping this is the new boss. Looks really cool, to be honest. We're not going to skip all that. Yeah. But the uniques that pretty much like this one is gives you Battle Mage off the back. So this one could be pretty cool, but you don't have to deal crit strike. So I think this could be really fun to play with. I mean, the fact it only does that though, is it really worth sacrificing a whole helmet slot for that? Probably not. We saw those already. So support gems, I'm not going to go through these too often, but the one thing I'm happy about is that they did say that they are going, that Spectral Throw should get buffed. So we might be doing a banana build this league finally. Because Spectral Helix throws them in circles and bounces. And yeah, so I'm hoping, and they said they are buffing Val Spectral Throw, so I'm hoping Spectral Throw gets buffed so we can actually play it. Or that we might just do the Spectral Helix one. So I do want to try one. Pan MTX. Blood and Rage. Is it this one? Yep, that's it. Okay. So yeah, this is the one. I might be doing a Berserker this league. Because like I'm very interested in trying this right here. Putting like slam on them, you know, any other skill on them. Because whatever skill you put this on, they get that skill. And then you just stack, you know, a bunch of totems. And you can probably do some real crazy stuff with this. Having them just go on the screen, going crazy, blowing everything up, I think could be a lot of fun. Like, I don't care too much. Like, a lot of these don't seem that good, to be honest. New skills. Like, I think Storm Rain, the Toxic Rain, the Lightning Toxic Rain version, could be really cool to play with. Ambush, no. Blade Tread, no. Like, I might try Vortex Burst, this one. The purple lightning. It looked pretty cool. Or I think it was Forbidden Bright, right, actually. Like, Summon Reaper I probably won't use. It's a minion build, but it's Summoner's Reaper, but it could be really difficult to play with. Could be something to look into, though. This is stuff for the Templars, just based on your mana. So mana stackers can have a lot of fun. We already know I'm making it more challenging. It's already been said. This is the Flask. So they don't show us Quicksilver Flask, which I'm worried about. Because if that gets nerfed, it's going to absolutely suck. I'm trying to think. Resistance, take less damage. Yeah, so they did nerf Stibbit. Because this used to be 100% more evasion. It's now 20%. And also, the amount of... it consumes 40 out of 60 charges now is a massive nerf to it. So I'm very worried that Flask got hit pretty hard. So Pathfinder might got hurt pretty bad this league. It'll be interesting to see. You know, Battle Royale skill trees, 2 supporter packs. Might buy them, questionable. But I mean, it's interesting for Expedition League. We are gonna play on League Start. I'll be starting in about 4 hours after it starts, I think, give or take. And they said that this one should be much better run speed, so it should be a much nicer League Start. So I should be doing this. Saturday, Sunday will be late streams. Then once Monday hits, we're going all day, probably 24 hours straight. Had the whole week off. We're gonna go every single day. Because I want to have Cyrus done by Tuesday at the latest, because me playing like a couple hours each day. And then I want to play my League Start build. I won't show until Fridays. I don't know what it's going to be. Depends on patch notes. And then, trying to think. And my actual build, I'm going to be playing my real League Start build. We'll probably start on Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm thinking. I need to get currency to get the build going. It's just going to take time. But that's pretty much it right now. We do know that Saturday, Sunday, we don't know what we're getting shown. We do know Monday is going to be End of Ultimatum, which who cares? Manifesto, which usually doesn't show anything. It's usually not that long. But then Tuesday, we know that's going to be the patch note day. So once that comes out, we'll probably make a video about that. I might do the Manifesto also, I'm not sure. But that's when we'll see for sure what gets nerfed. That's why I'm going to take a look at some certain skills to see if in my League Star potential builds getting nerfed or not, how bad they are actually. Because if they get hit pretty hard, I'll have to reconsider my League Start. And then we'll have that Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday to figure out exactly what our build's going to be. And I might do some test runs also, a different build, I think, on probably that Thursday. And then Friday, League Start. So if everyone liked the video, if you like to see, subscribe down below. Come follow me on Twitch. We'll be streaming once the league starts. I've been taking a break just to relax a little bit. But we should probably stream in a couple of days. We'll probably do a little bit of Battle Royale this weekend. And then from there, probably this league start practice and mess around a little bit. So, thank you for having a comment today, and I'll see you on the next one.